How old were you when you when you first started playing video games, and was it what was the first game you played?
I was probably 4 or 5 years old, maybe 5 years old, I think. I was living in Mexico with my family, and I came across a arcade cabinet, which it's these little machines, right, that are not like today's consoles. They're like a big machine, and you can play it by putting your hands on them and tapping the buttons and moving the joystick. I was, I think, 4 or 5 years old, and I think the first game I played was Super Mario World.
Yeah, the first one I played was Mario Kart Wii. I started when I was like 3 years old.
Oh my goodness. Very early, very, very early. Look at
Uh,
you.
like had to do it and I got used to it.
Yeah. Do you still play? Well, I mean, you probably play a different Mario now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. For the Wii. I remember playing that one. Pretty fun. Pretty fun.
Well, was it challenging to get really good at video games and make it professionally? When was your first competition?
My first competition, I think I was 13 because it was a different type of video game. It was a fighting game. So, for example, Street Fighter, those games where you pick one of the characters and you're supposed to fight with them against a different character. Those are very challenging because other people also know the moves, of like their character they like to pick. And so it's kind of like a rumble. You get in there, you do your moves, they do their moves. But little by little, you learn about your character and what other characters can do. And the more that you learn, the better you become, right? The more skills that you gain along the way. And so there was a tournament. I think I was 13 or 14. I forget the exact age. And I was playing against people that were 20, 21, 22 years of age, things like that, and also people that were 15, 14, around my same age. But luckily, I was just able to play against them, and win. Um, I was able to navigate. It's called a bracket. So there's a lot of people that show up to a tournament, and then they play against each other, and the winners keep advancing until there's only one person left. And luckily, that was me that tournament.
Well, my science project is about how the video games affect the heart rate. And me and my dad started doing it yesterday. We played Halo, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and Mario Wonder.
Oh wow! So it's about how, as you guys play and maybe different things happen on the screen, that your heart rate changes.
Yeah,
Oh wow! And what did you find? Does your rate increase? Does it stay the same? What happens?
my heart increased more. Like the highest one was on 124 on Smash Brothers.
Oh my goodness! And Smash Brothers is a very exciting,
Hmm?
game where you see it kind of like that. You pick your hero, and you're throwing things at each other, and it gets really hectic. So I can see that. I can see your heart starting to pump faster when you're fighting other people,
It
right?
gets me a lot excited.
What's your character? Who do you like in that game?
Um, I like using the gunners, the me gunners, and I made one as myself. But
Yeah.
yep, the funniest one I played on my dad was the villager. It's like from Animal Crossing, and it was all cute. And then I just beated him.
Oh my goodness. And so uh you won.
Yeah,
Wow, that's pretty cool. And when you won, was your heart rate going faster too when you beat your dad?
Yeah,
Wow, congratulations.
thank you. When you play video games, do you notice different games have an effect on your heart rate?
Yeah, so if it's a video game where it's a very fast-paced mission or a fast-paced situation, kind of like what you just described, when you're playing against another person and the video game gives you a situation where you have to do something quick, or it's a hectic type of situation where you have to act, then I've noticed that it makes the intensity level, the excitement level go up in the game. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes I notice that my heart my heart rate goes up, especially in these fighting games that I'm talking about. Sometimes you are playing very competitively against other people, and they are doing everything they can with their character, right, to do all the moves and win, and then you're doing everything you can. So that presents a lot of hectic, stressful situations, you know? And as a result, yeah, I've definitely noticed many times that when I'm in those hectic situations, my heart rate goes up because it's also exciting, right? It's fun, it's exciting. Kind of like the example you just gave me with you and your dad. Um, you guys are fighting each other, and then when somebody wins, your heart rate is all the way up.
What game do you think has the biggest impact on your heart rate?
Which out of all the games, I think fighting games like that, like Street Fighter, those types of games, Marvel versus Capcom. It's these fighting games, right? Where you, like I said, you pick your heroes, they pick their heroes, and you fight. Especially if you start going to tournaments, meaning like live tournaments against other people, it gets a little bit more serious because you want to compete, you want to win. So there's a little bit of pressure, and when you have pressure and you're trying to win a tournament, your heart rate naturally goes up because you don't want to lose. But shooters are also games that I've noticed gamers take them very seriously. You know, Counter Strike, you know, all these Call of Duty, all these types of games where in 1 second, in one split second, everything can change depending on the map and your team and things like that. So I know that those guys also that play those games get their heart rates up a lot. So I would say shooters as well.
Do you do you have any advice for kids wanting to get into gaming competitions?
I would say that you can approach or kids can approach joining game competitions. My humble advice would be as a hobby. I think their gaming competitions can be good to take away, or rather to take a break from what I think, in my again humble opinion, kids should be focusing on, which is school. I think school is very very important. I think the first priority that we have when we're little is to try to do our best in school and learn. And uh, you know, as we grow older, we still go to we still go to school and try to figure out, you know, what is it that we like. We do, and you know, as you go to junior high, high school, things like that, try to get the best grades possible. You know, so that you can get into or you can have it in your mind. What is it that you'd want to do when you grow up? But when you after you do get your good grades, after you do finish your homework, for kids, I think sure, I think gaming is a good. Um, I think it's a healthy hobby if kids and their parents help them to manage it appropriately, meaning that you know they can their parents can help the kids take them to competitions and have fun, and you meet other people, right? You meet other kids that like the same video games, and you guys talk about them. You guys have a you know, some food over them, talk about them. Those are all fun things. Those are all hobby oriented fun things. But I would say that school would have to be your top priority, even when you're little, even when you're a kid, and have video games as your fun hobby. I think that's the best way.
And those are your questions?
Yeah, those are all my questions. Thank you